Mark, after hearing that, I'm not going to tell my story of those poets selling his poems on the street.
Oh, come on!
That is because they were mostly very bad poems.
No.
Well, only one of them was good, and that was a plagiarism of Walt Whitman. Look, I think it is important to clear that up. That is part of the story, too. It's important that we all know all of the story that any of us tell. I edited my story for the sake of romance. I wanted Ezra to find someone in the crowd who distinguished himself in his angel pride. Of course, the truth is that in our country, the practice of poetry pays so little, there are enormous numbers of poets. In our country, where the practice of poetry is considered impractical and eccentric, there are astronomical numbers of poets, and they are all standing on street corners selling their poems, or standing in country roads and writing their poems. They are all standing, looking at the ground under their feet, or at the sky over their heads, and making up poems about what is on the ground and what is in the sky. We may be unaware of a great number because they are, of course, to live among us as we live among ourselves, as workers and people without work, as patients in hospitals, as betrayed lovers, as born and dying persons, but not as poets. And that's the way they live, too. There may be almost as many poets in our country as there are cars. They are manufactured somewhere, perhaps in the English departments of universities. And so they are everywhere. Every town in the United States has its poet. Just as you always find a Chinese restaurant wherever you happen to be, I think if every Chinese restaurant in the country had a poet inside, you would see how many poets there are. In fact, most of the Chinese restaurants would have to have several poets inside. Some of them would have to cook, and some of them would have to dine, and some of them would stand behind a glass case containing the lychee nuts. As time went on, there would be more poets than the Chinese restaurants knew what to do with. The poets would be standing in line outside the door and down the street. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything at all. Never mind.
Something here, and I'll feel good tonight. And You know why I feel good tonight, brothers and sisters? Because today is the best Sunday of the week. Today is the ultimate July 20th of the entire year. Because we come to the mill tonight to grind something gold. We come to grind that grain that's within us all, that grows us so high. If we give it air and water and sun, we come to understand something about wonder and love in this small community. And we understand that beauty is growing in some mighty strange ground in a distant pasture. But that don't make it less than the roses that grow in the yard. No, it don't. But sometimes the distance from here to there make that joy elusive. And the beauty gets past us. Sometimes the yakety-yak of the world be blocking our ears. And a loop-a-de-loop of what it seems to be dizzy in our heads. And before we know it, we find ourselves moved into living a lifestyle that is something far from home. Yes, we do. Look at this poor boy here. Got the posture of a noodle. Got the expression of a possum who don't hear no tree on which to hook his tail. My friend, I want you to tell these old members here, what's your story? Go on and talk about it, brother. You can be raised up again.
Deacon,
Yes.
I got problems.
The pressures of the workplace be pressing you down?
Sometimes I get to working and the world seems to fade away, leaving me in my sweat and the work at hand mesmerized by those steady-going machines.
Well, that's a mighty fine feeling.
Yeah, I know, but my wife gets jealous. She says that old factory takes it all out of me, and there ain't nothing left for her and the children.
Well, think about the monies instead of the wife.
So I think about the money instead of the work. But that almighty dollar, like a flirty woman, it ain't no better. You go a-chasing it, and it runs. You turn your back on it, and it waves. It gets into your pockets, and you go crazy. Next thing you know, you're out shopping like a silly fool. You buy an automobile with 2 steering wheels.
Well, think about the children.
While the children, they are discovering the world. And to them, it's like a big amusement park. You know, they're going and singing and thinking and doing and leaving their mammy and pappy behind.
That's right. But don't you remember that time yourself?
I remember that time myself, when I was all muscle, and why not try and what's around the corner and kiss goodbye.
Well, that's a mighty fine feeling, too.
But it's faded now. The world don't look like that no more. I don't feel that way no more. And the children, they see something I don't.
Brother, my brother, you make me feel so happy. Because you only a half step away from discovering the secret of that wonder and love of which I have spoken. I know you experienced it because a blind man don't worry about no ugly colors. A deaf man don't complain that you're talking all raspy. A hungry man don't worry that there ain't no salt. The poor man ain't worried about no real estate tax. You know the secret, and you is alive. Now testify.
Yes, sir! Well, there ain't no life without their death.
That's right, there ain't no children without their staff.
Well, there ain't no music without their noise.
Ain't no head with just a tail. There's no coin without the head.
Well, with the head and tail come right along.
That's right, everything be all one thing.
When the rich people will sing you love, if the rich people are singing you love, well, we can't be cooking up without no bitter earth. You know that now.
Ain't no piano, don't have to be
no instant coffee without the water put it in it. Now that's a shame. Now tell me something. Come on, say hallelujah. Hallelujah.
All right. Man had a barn. Barn was full of grain. Sun burned the grain, burned down the barn. But the barn turned to ashes. The ashes turned to soil. The soil grew up grain, and the rain built a barn in which to hold the grain.
Hallelujah.
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 Thank you. Doctor made a pill saying the world would die. Everybody fill up the world with too many people. People stop dying. Then it makes room for more healthy people. The world fill up with people again, and everything is
All right. Hallelujah. Now, the only way we're going to ride goodbye to that off of here is if we really go hallelujah. The whole way Gillette gets going. It can't stop.
Look at this studio filled with fabulous pride.
Because we're in here.
That's okay, we built you a son.
Okay, hallelujah. All those things. That's the warm-up set. We're going to be back in a little while with Barrett Joe March night. Portrait of a lady by Gillette. Bob London will be here for the late set. Have a few drinks. Stick around, we're going to be here for quite a while.
And you talk about the good man and the bad, the good house, the bad boat, the bluebird, the boober, the dope, the that. I'm so tired once me ears at so much amusement. This man, I think, is not happy as a man. He's too filled up with hot opinions. And he sweats like the forest in the slimy season. I must help him out. So today you will become a banana. No more you be filled with all of them words. You're going to be so long and yellow that everyone don't admire you muchly much. Hey, look at that banana, they're going to say. He is so yellow, I think he is right. Let's eat him up. Another one say, you know what I like about this long banana, what is so yellow? It don't make no noise. Yeah. Not like no monkey. It got no mouth. And they will go where you are lying on the ground and pick you up and strip down your yellow jacket and trouser and throw them to the beatles and beat you all up. Then we will go where the sun makes red a distant part of the sky and ocean, and we sit on the side. And we talk about bananas and how they're supposed to taste on these good islands. Thank you.
trains from
They
Chicago.
went to Chicago from somewhere.
Even beyond St. Louis. St. Louis. Detroit. Like Hearn, Texas.
Someplace like Hearn,
Texas.
Texas.
Or Houston.
Houston.
17 at the sea.
1773.
Shooting water. Heating water. As a very small kid in Los Angeles, I only remember seeing one black person, Negro then, a large woman, to fit the stereotype. But back in Ventura when I was 2, down the hill toward the ocean, in the alley behind our house, this little girl with pigtails in a wagon like mine, she stood there beckoning. Not in her mind, maybe, but in mine. When we moved back from Los Angeles to Houston, we saw them on the streetcars, 3/5 of the seats with colored owners. We saw them all over Houston. Niggertown was no inner city ghetto. Niggertown was wedges of the pie, corners and pockets here and there, peppering the city. They lived close to where they worked, to the white kitchens and yards, to the filling stations. Many houses had garage apartments for the maids. The rich had chauffeurs. We saw them working. We knew they weren't loafers, no such thing as welfare. Most of the beggars who came to our door were white. Any black man who came was asking to do the yard. No, we didn't know our black sisters and brothers and cousins as well as we might have, but we knew damn well they worked hard for whatever living they made, and we sensed in our Faulknerian bones they really were our cousins and sisters and brothers. No aliens just arrived to invade our territory. History we had down south in our bones, but never got into the books. Thank you.
If I should wait and feel your lips, surrender to
Like I said, I don't know. In fact, I barely remember her. Besides, it was late. So dizzy and late. I mean, the smoke was grabbing every face and shaking it to a fizz. And the light was so low. It was curling on its knees like a drunkard licking moonshine. Say she's from Indiana, huh? Well, it was late. But you know, I seem to remember someone saying something like that. They'd driven half the night just to dance here with a gangster. Now, officer, I ain't saying nothing about the types that hang their hat here. But it was late. And she was young, right? And the late night smoke lays waste to colder days than that. Who come all the way from Indiana just to have their first thought. But I tell you this much, she was waist meat before the band even started. Helen Morgan mumbling crew song, bedroom jazz and whisper bass. And I ain't saying they serve gin here, but I seem to remember the likes of her on the dance floor. Shimmy bent and pasty faced. And this guy hooked around her waist and got her eaten, chewed, and digested before she even sees his face. that for sure. How long you say she's been missing? 4 days. Well, listen, his face was made for Fister, and his hair soft black and waved. And yeah, he was just about your height. You know, I do see a lot too. But remember, it was late. I'm from France, and we've been here about, well, a couple of years. And we are learning your traditional American song with French and Japanese accent. Yeah, sorry. We're gonna start with All of Me. That we'll put a little French flavor in it. You will see.
I'm grooming them for the fall when we're going to really put the shows together even more structured than they are tonight. Between the idea and the reality, between the motion and the act, between the conception and the creation, between the emotion, like the alphabet soup through his pen. These are the poems of T.S. Eliot.
Among the smoke and fog. Among the smoke and fog of a December afternoon.
Thou hast committed fornication. Thought that was in another land, and besides, the wench is dead.
Among the smoke and fog of a December afternoon, you have the scene arrange itself, as it will seem to do. With I have saved this afternoon for you. And 4 wax candles in the darkened room, 4 rings of light on the ceiling overhead, an atmosphere. Juliet's tomb, prepared for all things to be said, or left unsaid.
So intimate
We have
with
been,
Chopin
let us say,
that I think his soul
to hear the latest polls,
be resurrected
transmit his preludes
only among friends.
through his hair and his fingertips.
Of some 2 or 3 who will not touch the bloom that is rubbed and questioned in the concert room.
Times like these, I feel like puke. Right on stage. Just call forth my innermost emotions. Right here. I mean, the way he played his saxophone and how it fit into the overall flow of movement on the stage, well, I mean, it was something to behold. Now, don't you think? I think the next obvious step is multimedia. Imagine 1,000 fantasies being flashed, and then this woman comes out, and she starts doing this thing, man, and she starts going on, but wait, I'm getting off the point. I really think that was the best thing I've ever seen him do. And as for the writing,
And so the conversation slips among the velleities, carefully contregrassed through the attenuated tones of the violin. Remote cornet that begins.
You do not know how much they mean to me, my friends, and how rare and strange it is.
Look at this place. It's a mess. You've got bric-a-brac, clutter, books piled up. How do you live like this?
To find in a world composed so much of art and
So a nightmare.
How keen you are. To find a friend who has these qualities. Who has and gives those qualities upon which friendship lives. Without those qualities, life, what cauchemar?
Cauchemar? Cauchemar? That's not even English. What does it mean?
It's a nightmare, dear.
I know it's a nightmare. I've been telling you it's a nightmare. You got to stop all this poetry silliness.
It's French, dear. It's supposed to be silly.
Now, I'll admit I'm a bit confused. I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to be doing in this poem. My name is O'Bannon. The brothers and I have the largest flower shop in the entire city. Our motto is, we don't have no competition. Now, if you want trucks, you come to me. If you want flowers, of course, you come to me, Gambling or Bannon. You want women, go to that dago Pimp Capone. Now, I'm taking over the poetry business. And I'm looking for a man named Thomas Stearns Eliot. Now, ain't that just like a poet? He's got two first names and his last name's in the middle. I think he's an Englishman. If I find this TF person, I'm going to trash him within an inch of his life. Now, the old lady here, she's gotten a bit around the bend on this poetry stuff. Now, I'm not saying she's crazy, mind you. She's got all 52 cards, but one of them's a joker with the 10 of clubs painted on. If I find this guy, I'm going to find out just exactly what the hell is going on there. Now, you heard what McCracken did to that comedian Joe E. Lewis. He cut out his thumb. What's your name, boy? I see McCracken's gotten to you, too. It's going to be a little harder than I originally thought. Fornicating now. I'm after going back to the old lady's house to find out just what kind of devilment she's up to now. You know you look pale, dear. You should get out more. You should take a walk.
It was a funny thing that happened to me the other day. In the afternoon it was. On the streetcar. A man sat down next to me. He was older and unshaven.
Is he an Englishman?
He looked dirty. He showed me his newspaper and asked me if I knew how to read. Could I read it for him, as he had never learned? So I read the headline. It said, Marine Hopes Rise.
Ah, the Marines. Now, there's something I can understand.
He asked me what it meant, and I said I didn't know, which I didn't. Something about the Marines, I said. And that just set him off. Oh, the Marines, he said. Well, I was in the Navy. That was a long time ago. I was in one of those little submarines under the water. The best part was looking out those round windows, watching the fish swim by. They were beautiful. Just beautiful. I can appreciate beautiful things, you know I can. In fact, I wrote a poem.
Oh, no, not another poem.
I don't know where it is. Here it is. This is a poem I wrote. He gave it to me, and I took it and I read it, and it was very nice, but it was an old Sanskrit proverb.
Sanskrit. They can't write in English, so they try to find some foreign language.
Well, I gave it back to him, and he said, I guess that's kind of funny, you know, but there was this composer fellow once, and he used to write music, and he was deaf and dumb. What was his name again? Yes, Brahms. That's it. Well, I'm Wolfgang von Brahms. My uncle, he was Captain von Brahms. I didn't like the captain much. He was rich, though. Well, I'm not rich, but I'm crazy. I don't know what it is, you see. I go to this doctor, and he gives me pills. They're supposed to make me less crazy. They just make me more crazy. I've got lots of crazy pills. See, I've got all kinds. I've got some of these, and I've got some of these kinds, too. The second bottle he showed me read for leg cramps. Then he took one pill out of each bottle and swallowed them right there, choking a little as he did it. I gave him one of my tangerines. I made up something about how I had bought too many. He thanked me and told me I was a nice